Okay. Anyway, that's fine. Okay, cool. Okay, so what we discussed last time is about this protractor cucumber framework, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think as per our discussion, let me open the notes. Ideally, we need to start with the complete setup. So setup is one of the part of the thing which we need to discuss, and today we'll be mostly discussing about those things like how to set up the framework and what kind of reports that we can expect and those kind of things.
Okay.
Okay, so again, JavaScript point of view, hope you might have taken some time to
Yeah,
practice and go
actually
through.
I've just gone through some basics అంటే ఇట్లా మీరు లింక్ పంపించారు కదా. Yeah, I've just gone through that, but then not in depth, but just about the introduction to JavaScript I was able to read.
Okay.
Also in my workplace it's been a bit busy these days, so
Okay, same here. Okay. But that's fine, see, again, I'm telling, this is not like we don't need to really know a lot of stuff in JavaScript, because
yeah.
we are not developers. So at least the basic understanding how it works and a little bit of navigation and stuff, if you know, then that should be fine.
Okay.
Okay, so thing is, so let me just take the class notes so that like we'll be have one notes throughout the session. I'm just trying to take the notes documents, the JavaScript automation. Okay. Okay, yeah, I think this is what we discussed the other day. Okay.
Yeah.
So the thing is, so we just discussed about the coding and configuration and all these things. Okay, cool. So just to reiterate, so just we discussed about difference between Java and JavaScript, and we discussed about that in Java we got JVM, and JavaScript we got Node. Node is the actual platform.
Yeah.
To install Node in Mac or Windows, we need to use Brew. So we need to use Brew to install Node.
Okay.
Okay, so are you using Mac or Windows?
Mac uses.
Okay, perfect, nice. So I think Brew will be already by default. So you need to use the Brew install Node, then it will install Node.
Okay.
Similarly, we have to use npm, which is nothing but the actual dependency manager, which will wrap all the dependencies for us. And apart from that, we use JUnit, in Java, and similarly in JavaScript we use Jasmine is for actual annotations, and Mocha we use for the actual test execution, like a test suite and test cases. We have Mocha to do that.
Okay, so Jasmine is like JUnit.
Yeah, and Mocha is
for annotations.
Mocha is for annotations like it and describe. We will go in that, but it will give a framework for us.
Okay.
Okay, so then WebDriver will be our actual tool which interacts with the browser.
Okay.
So like that, in JavaScript we got Protractor, Nightwatch, WebDriver IO, WD, and CodeCept. We got few. These are the few things that are most popular in the market.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm coming to assertions. Again, apart from Jasmine, we can still use Chai and also we got JavaScript default assertions which we can use.
Okay.
Okay, just a high level. Okay, so I will definitely will go through all these things, but just a high level. This is the tools that we will be using.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, then to start with, we need to install these few things, npm and Node.
Okay.
Followed by we need to download. Okay, again, after this step is done, we have to once we down npm, then we need to download any boilerplate we don't need to create from scratch, but we need to download any boilerplate.
Okay.
Okay, plate framework.
So it's like a skeleton framework, is it?
Yeah, it's a skeleton framework. Anything we can take, but just we need to start with boilerplate, and then that boilerplate we need to watch out for package.json.
Okay.
Okay, and if you see here, you can see that there is a package.json here. Okay, and see that this package.json have all these things. Okay, I'll just reduce this font size in a second. Okay, so we don't need to worry about Java here, but we need to editor. There is something called theme will be there. Yeah. Default. Just to take it. Okay, I think now I will just make it in default. Okay, I just want to make sure that the fonts and everything are properly applied. Okay. Okay, so if it is putting it to default Dracula, then it is coming as a proper font. Okay. Okay, it's okay, right? I mean, for you.
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, again, and you can see that there is a lot of so this is our package.json, and in this we got all these frameworks. Okay. So yeah, just if you go to dependencies, you can see that this is how we actually get the dependencies. Okay, so I just want to go in depth here. So example, if you want to add a new package, example, somebody said that why don't we use WebDriver IO for this project? Okay, so somebody said we have to use a new package. Then normally what you have to do is there is a website called npmjs.com. And here this is the where all the repositories will be sitting. Okay, so see, WebDriver IO is different, Protractor is different. Protractor is like a Selenium, and WebDriver IO is also like a Selenium.
Okay.
Okay, but
then there are different tools, is it?
there are different libraries which comes from.
Okay.
Okay, and they have their own APIs, documentation and stuff.
Okay.
Okay, and you can see that now it is 4.8.0 is the latest. So to get this package, you just need to put your WebDriver IO and then put this web version. Okay, then if you do this, and then you need to follow by writing typing the command npm install. The npm install is the command which will download the repository and put it into your library. Okay, so yeah, similar to that we have other frameworks and all we discussed. So yeah, so I mean, thing is, yeah, it is a type language which is very easy to write. So it got functions and it got classes. Okay.
Yeah.
So today we will discuss a little bit about functions and classes. Okay. So other things that we discussed is a lot of advanced things that we can do. We can do configuration, and we can do npm scripts, tools, declaring driver objects, driver. So yeah, this is the part of configuration. So the first few things that we have to do in a framework is we need to provide all these things like profiling, npm scripts, tools, declaring where is the driver object, and defining the reports, defining the folder structure. So this is the basic things that we have to do when we are starting a project. Okay, and then actual coding, and then finally we discussed that we will use this framework. So that is where we end our last class.
Yeah.
Okay, so now what we will do is let us discuss a little bit more about. Let us go in depth. Okay, so what I will do today is let us take the code directly and let us do some modifications. Let us see what exactly is happening here. Okay.
Okay.
So if you see this, we got this package.json. So right now, this is the typical way any project in a real world will look like.
Okay.
So they got a main project which got both development and test code. So the development code is here in library.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it got development code as well as it got a test code. So basically, what we will be doing is we will first read what exactly is this configuration file and what are the important parts of this configuration file.
Okay.
Okay, so this yeah, so this configuration file, if you see this, uh, basically here I need to tell you the important bits is the main thing is this. This is the dependencies. Apart from that, we can do a lot of things. But what this guy had done is he had created few commands which are reusable commands.
Okay.
Means if I thing is now this is all npm world. This script is nothing but this keyword will work when I had gone to a terminal. Let me go into terminal. Okay, so this is all about command line, right?
Yeah.
So what I will do is I will go to my folder. JS, CD, Protractor. We're talking about Protractor here. Okay, now if you see this,
Hello.
can you hear me? Hello.
I can't hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah. Okay. So now what I'm saying is, see, this importantly, you have to understand that to run any project, there are two ways to do it.
Okay.
Okay. To run any project, there are two ways to do it. One is so today's class. Details about the framework. Okay. So today is the class. So first thing that we are learning today is we are reading our package.json file. Okay, in this package.json file, what the things which are very important are dependencies. Okay, and to add any dependencies you need to go to your npm js.com and you need to search for your library. Okay, and version, which we already just did. Okay, now second thing is your scripts. So what I'm talking about scripts is normally whenever you download your dependencies, they themselves also will be in a runnable mode.
Okay.
Means the tools like Mocha, WebDriver, IO, and Night Watch. So they whatever you take, they themselves are runnable tools.
Okay.
Means there are two kind of tools. One is runnable tools and one is runnable tools, one is non-runnable. Runnable is nothing but example if I type Mocha, because Mocha is already there with me, right? Okay, so Mocha is your actual test a runner as well as complete. It will manage your complete structure. So Mocha, you can see that it is already there in the dependency.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a dependency and libraries are there already in the project.
Yeah. So
Okay.
so let me open the main project. So there are two project levels here. Let me just open this. Dev and JS. Just okay, you can see that. Okay. So Protractor, this is where we got our stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So this is where we got our thing. So now Mocha is one of the runners. So what I can do is if I just run Mocha, so now itself you can see that there's something it is trying to run.
Okay.
Means it is like Java. So Mocha is like a runner. You can run something. So now the things are not running because of few other things. But if I type Mocha also things are running.
Okay.
Okay. Means you can see that to run any automation test, either you can use the actual runnable command like WebDriver. For WebDriver IO, we use WDIO is a command.
Yeah.
Okay, and for Mocha, we use Mocha is a command itself. So if you type Mocha, what happens is it reads all the Mocha tests inside the framework and run them straight away.
Okay.
Okay, so now it is what happening literally is you can see that it is running some tests.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because it is thinking yes, everything is ready. So that is what is happening.
Okay.
Okay, however, the problem is sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work.
Okay.
Why? Because sometimes, say example, we need to set up an Selenium standalone server. So we need to run the server. So if you see that now, this we need to run a Selenium server, then only we should be able to run the Mocha tests.
Okay.
Means there is some dependency. I mean, the thing is that we cannot straight away run the Mocha, but there is some dependencies that we need to run.
Okay.
So those kind of things, those kind of things, what happens is you can make a script by yourself in the package.json.
Okay.
Means what I am doing here is I'm just saying that, see, if I do Mocha test now, instead of Mocha, if you see properly, I will just run npm run, then the keyword which I had given here.
Okay.
So what are the available keywords here?
Test, WebDriver, start.
Okay, so like that we got, right? So if you see that start is a command which will run the application.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can run through this. This is also one of the command. If I run also, if I do this, the server will run. Okay, see, that is the magic of npm. Okay, if I do this, you can see that node and the server is running right now. Okay.
Okay.
But to just give a shortcut, what I can do, if you see that the same thing I am doing, but I'm just doing npm run start. That is exactly equal to the command that which I run few minutes back.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now my application is running. Now you tell me which command I need to run my test cases.
I think it's test.
Yes, you are absolutely right. It is test. Okay. See there what happens now. Now it actually will start your Mocha, and typically it will go to spec.js. Okay, so it is like in Mocha also it is specifying that which test you have to run. Okay.
Okay.
You can see that it has some timeout and other things it was setting. Okay, DRC is timeout and all. Okay, and now you can see that the actual test starts. Okay.
Okay.
But however, why it is not running is because your WebDriver is not there. You can see that, here WebDriver is not here. Okay. What we will do is we will stop this. We will open one more command and we will simply run npm run WebDriver. See, they're the same. Just keyword I'm not using. Inside that, there's a big script to run the Selenium server. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this line, this is a command line which is used to run your Selenium standalone server. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now it's okay. I'm just waiting for the Selenium server to run. Now, if I run the same npm run test, see what happens. Okay. Now it will go, and so application is running now, and your Selenium server is ready. So
Okay.
nothing else. I mean, ideally the test should work. It should work. Okay, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So means it which test will run is it like spec.js. We will go into that, but we are just in the configuration mode. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can see that the tests are running, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is which is nothing but everything is running by the tool, but we made it little bit simple by taking the hard work of writing lot of command lines every time. We made it
Yep.
shortcuts so that we can just run npm that shortcut and it will run the whatever the intended task is supposed to be run.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And forgot about this pre-test and linting and all. Okay, they are like you don't need to worry about it. Okay. Don't worry about these two commands. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
So linting is nothing but it's syntax checker. You don't need to worry about that yourself.
Okay.
Okay. So it is like syntax for developers, but you don't need to worry about right now. Okay.
So before we start running the test, we have to start the WebDriver server
Yes.
with
Yes.
the command npm WebDriver, npm run WebDriver,
Yes. Yes.
and then we have to say npm run test
Yeah.
to run the test, actual test.
Yeah. Okay. So see, depending upon company, what kind of command, how they will write the commands. Okay. But ideally, you need to make sure that your application is running and your WebDriver is running before you run your test.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in your company, maybe they have different command. Maybe they will tell npm run dev or npm run release.
Okay.
Okay, so they may be different, but you just need to watch out that in your application before you run your
Standalone
test, the
server.
application is up and running.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, npm run WebDriver. That is the way they had modified it. Okay.
Okay.
Npm run test. But if you want, you can modify them also. There's no rule.
Okay.
Okay, if you say no, sir, I'm not comfortable with writing test. I'm little bit what is called lazy. Then you can put like this. Then you don't need to run npm test. You can just say npm run t.
Okay.
Means you can configure your own scripts.
Okay.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so now coming to the next thing is okay. So yeah, I mean there are some other advanced things, but you don't need to worry about the descriptions and all. Okay.
Okay.
So now coming to our actual tests. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you see this, what this guy is running, he is running test the blah 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 specs.js. So any
Okay.
specs.js is a test
Okay.
file.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. So you got Cucumber spec 1, Cucumber spec 2, all these things he got. Okay. Let us see what was there. Okay. So if you see that Cucumber spec 1 is one test suite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what he is running is, I think he is let me just think what he's running because I am also new like you.
Okay.
Test report some for test that this is the application. This is cucumber. Okay, so he got some cucumber also. Okay, so here he got some cucumber step definitions. Okay, so he want to pretend to have some kind of. Okay, so he got a feature files here. Okay, so he implemented BDD also.
Okay.
Okay. Cucumber 1.0, cucumber 2. Okay, so running step definitions. Okay, so and this is the step definitions. Okay, so he used cucumber ideally.
Actually, you said this was Cucumber and Protractor framework, right? But then, how come we are using this Selenium standalone server for this?
Oh, a very good question. See, this protractor is a Selenium client application or
Oh,
the client part of it.
okay.
See, all these tools that we're talking about are replacement of your client side of your code. Means
Okay.
client side means the actual scripting side. Um, Means if you go to, I think a little bit basic. This is basic, but this is a nice question actually. So we still need Selenium
Mm-hmm.
as our server.
Okay.
Okay, so um, let me show you a very important figure till you understand that. That is the whole Selenium architecture. You need to understand that.
So, WebDriver here, the standalone server we are talking about, is this WebDriver IO or it's a different standalone server?
Okay, I'm coming to that. To answer all your questions. Okay, so you need to understand the architecture. Okay, okay, so this is the way it works. Okay, so we always have three components, and the last one is the browser. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so Selenium is always will work with three-tier architecture.
Okay.
How it works is you need to have a Selenium server.
Yeah.
Selenium server, you need to have Selenium server,
Mm.
and you need to have the actual Chrome driver or what are the drivers it is.
Yeah.
Chrome driver, and you need to have Selenium server. Okay,
Okay.
that is standard.
Okay.
And what we are talking right now, the protractor, WebDriver IO, and your Night Watch, and your Java, PHP, C Sharp, Hat, Ruby, they're all are the languages which we can use, which you can use and we can send. So that will send the inputs to Selenium server.
Okay. Okay. Right. But then Protractor is not by itself a language.
Protractor is one of the client side tool which is used to write your code in for Angular and all this kind of things. However, that is also a tool which how to go to Selenium server, put a request, then only Selenium server will go to the Chrome driver, then it will go to the actual browser.
Okay.
Okay, see
Yeah.
here. So you can see
Yeah.
here, right? So PHP, Python, C Sharp, any language you use, any tool you use, no problem at all.
Okay.
Okay, they're all like a client side scripting part of your Selenium. But all this how to definitely contact your Selenium WebDriver server.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the reason why if you go to these downloads, you can
Mm-hmm.
see that you have to do different Selenium standard server. This is the main heart of Selenium.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that is different. Now he can see client Selenium client. Then
Mm-hmm.
here we can use either Java, you can use JavaScript. So these are all the client side part of your Selenium.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the reason why Protractor, even though we are using Protractor, but still that Protractor is nothing but it is a client side part of your application, but still your Selenium standalone server should work.
Okay.
So this is your standalone server. See.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So okay. So now coming back to your Cucumber. So what this guy did is he actually created Cucumber. He got some stuff. I'm Cucumber with Protractor. It should still do normal tests. I should expose the correct global variables. I go to index and the title should be equal to my English. So this is what we have to test, right? Example, this test. Okay.
Yeah.
So example, if I put this as some okay. So I'm just want to see how the code. So I'm trying to understand the whole project that he created. Okay.
Okay.
So what simple is whenever you got your Cucumber. So again, Cucumber JS and Cucumber also supports your step definition and all these things in JavaScript world.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So so if I go to this Cucumber feature, I go on blah blah blah. So I need to check for I go on. You can see that this is there, right? This is the step. Okay. So
Yeah.
now you can ask me how this all coming up. This is how coming up is nothing but this is the actual Java code. Okay. JavaScript code. So how the whole architecture is working is nothing but this given when then. So you can see that this given when then, and
Yeah.
they're all this dot given when then they're all coming. Okay, so from where they are coming from this not chai, not this all chai as promised, not this one. They are coming from Cucumber. Okay.
Okay.
So they're all coming from Cucumber. So where is that Cucumber enabled? Let us see if we got something like a utilities. Okay, because I'm just waiting for this multi configuration. Just 1 second. Okay. Cucumber configuration, environmental configuration. There are a lot of configuration files. Okay. So required environment. See, this is like required environment.js. So there is something file called environment.js. Okay. So what I'm
Okay.
yeah. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to look back and see how the whole architecture is present. Okay. Let environment.js. Yes, this is the file. Okay, nice. Okay. So this is the file where the actual test is being started.
Okay.
This is very nice. I think I will write down everything from starting from where it starts. Okay.
Okay.
This is very nice and it is going to index.js. So where is this index.js? Index.js. Yes, here it is going. Okay. Index.js is debug plus cucumber loader related to global path temporary cucumber loader dot load cucumber version major version cd cucumber. Okay, that's fine. It is using runner execute the runner test case through cucumber. Runner the current protractor and this is all setup. You don't need to do all these things. I'm just reading the setup. Okay. Okay, so what he did is simply he is running done blah 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 cucumber.js. Here is where he is doing. Okay, and he is actually running the whole test. Okay, very nice. Cool. So what is happening is index.js is the first file which is getting executed. Okay. So this file which is getting executed. So this have a link with one file called your environment.js.
Okay.
So this is the place where the actual Selenium configuration is set. Okay.
Okay.
So you can see that the default web server or default this is like a applications web server port,
Okay.
and then this is your selenium URL, and like specs path. So where the specs? So this is the configuration file. So this is a test configuration file. Okay.
Okay.
And this is where the whole settings, like capabilities and your browser name, everything you can put it here.
Okay. So it's like config.java we have in the config file.
Yeah, it's a config file. Okay, JavaScript, for almost all the JavaScript frameworks, you should have a config file.
Okay.
Okay, which includes your source labs, connection, and your reports, and your Selenium server. Okay, so it got all the configurations. So that should be there in a separate file.
Okay.
Okay, so on Java, basically Java, Cucumber, and all, they don't have any configuration file. We can have, if you want, we can put it. Otherwise, we can hard code it. But here in JavaScript, we should definitely have a configuration file.
Okay.
Okay. So the problem is right now we are with Protractor. So Protractor itself will not provide any configuration.
Okay.
Okay, so we are now writing Protractor. So Protractor itself is not a, is just a tool which will interact with your browser.
Okay.
So there is no config. Try to understand. However, in your Nightwatch, there is a config file called nightwatch.js.
Okay.
Okay, and WebDriver IO, there is something called WDI config. Okay, means normally WDIO config. So normally every tool will provide a config file.
Okay.
But because in Protractor there is no config file, and also we are using Cucumber, that is the reason why we had created our own user defined config file. So in JavaScript, anything you can do. So here simply is Protractor. There is no config file. That's the reason why this guide had created his own environment.js.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that is, yeah, that's fine. I mean, he created this. So he created everything, all the settings he had created here. Okay. So he is nothing but he created a class file, and then he is actually created them as a variable. So it is nothing but, if you can see that, this is nothing but he created a JSON file with some parameters.
Okay.
Okay, so framework is equal to custom, framework path is equal to this. So it's like a name value pair, and he has created some complex way of putting everything here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So now let us see what happens after that. Okay, so once it is in environment.js, it reads all the config on the environments. Okay, then so it is requiring this. So what it does is configure object as an environment, which is okay, Cucumber options. So this is the place where he is providing Cucumber options.
Okay.
Okay, you know Cucumber options, right? Like in Java we got that run file.
Yeah.
Okay.
Runner, usually Cucumber runner has this options, right?
Yeah, Cucumber options. Okay. So in our framework, what he did is okay. So what in our framework, environment.js
Yes.
okay is equal to config file.
Config. Yeah.
And this Cucumber config .js is equal to Cucumber configuration. Okay, he's just separating it, make the things easy.
So here he is using Mocha and Cucumber options as well.
Yeah, see,
we can use anything to run.
No, okay. Cucumber is not a runner. Cucumber is just for the stub definitions and all these things.
Yeah, but then in Cucumber framework we have Cucumber runner where we use Cucumber options, right?
In Java, right?
Yeah, in Java we have cucumber options where we can run all those step definition. I mean feature files.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah. Similarly, so here, see, Mocha is different. Okay. So because
Okay.
in Java, what happened? We will not run with Cucumber. We will run with Maven test or JUnit. We will
JUnit.
use,
Yeah.
right?
That. Yeah.
So similarly, JUnit is equal to Mocha here.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Okay. Okay. So
So anything declared in the cucumber options, we will run all those using Mocha.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now you can see that Cucumber options is there. In this Cucumber options, what he did is he said that Cucumber stub definition is in this folder.
Okay.
Okay, so it is nothing but step definitions, and he actually saying that for my this configuration, if somebody is running this configuration, then
Yeah.
this will happen.
Yeah.
This is your step definition. Okay,
Yeah.
and this is your tags, and there is no colors. Okay,
Okay.
so if we just run this cucumber one configuration.js,